In our journey for the preview of the IPL, we now come to the Delhi Capitals, the former Delhi Daredevils, who have again, I think, you know, I don't think they've achieved much in their 12-year stint in the IPL. They've also been one of the biggest guilty parties in terms of perennial talent wasters. I would say, if you have a look at the squad that they had to begin with in 2008, and the fact that they had the choice to pick Virat Kohli, I will never ever forget that. They had the choice to pick Virat Kohli and they took Pradeep Sangwan. Nothing against
Yeah.
Mr. Sangwan. He must be a wonderful man. He's done a lot for his career. But seriously, okay, yeah, and I've been okay. I won't say this is. I've been burdened to support them. I've supported them from the very start of the Indian Premier League, and I am from Delhi. I have struggled with them. I've been part of a lot of jokes. I still am, and though despite of all of that, last season was somewhere I saw hope. I saw hope, I saw structure, I saw a game plan, I saw no reliance on any individual player. I saw a unit, and most importantly, I saw two people who had vision for the franchise. I saw Ricky Ponting and I saw Saurav Ganguly. Of course, you have Mohammad Kaif as another assistant coach there as well, playing a vital role there. So these three, and along with the fact that they trusted a young captain, Shreyas Iyer, they've made some brilliant additions once again in this auction. I felt they were desperately unlucky to not move beyond the first playoff last year. I felt their inexperience showed against Chennai. They couldn't just couldn't get through. In terms of the league stages, they were amongst the best teams, if not the best team. So felt they were a little unlucky. But when you talk about, as Anragan mentioned, they have backups in Kings 11. I feel similar is the case with Delhi Capitals, and I feel their backups and their current 11 as well are probably at a higher grade than Kings 11 for me. And for me, this is a team that should ideally be expecting a top four finish from itself. In fact, I would go as far as saying a top three finish, just to be sure, top three or top two finish, because that's the quality of their squad. So I'll start with Anurag here. I'll just ring out a few names, and then you can lay out some of that fancy Anurag knowledge on us. You've got I'm throwing a starting 11. Sorry, starting five as the top five batting order to you. Shikhar Dhawan opens with Prithvi Shaw. You've got Shreyas Iyer coming in number three, and after Shreyas Iyer, you see that these are tough pitches. You need someone's technique who's good. So you've been intelligent enough to get Ajinkya Rahane. You bring in Ajinkya Rahane at number four, and then you have Rishabh Pant at number five. Then you have room to play with. You've not still not selected Shimron Hetmeyer. You've got Alex Carey, whereas Rishabh Pant, who could play as a pure batsman. He's not a bad fielder. You've got Marcus Stoinis who could hit the ball out of the park. So do you look? How do you look at Delhi Capitals in terms of purely in terms of the batting? We'll come to the bowling after this.
Oh, I mean, last season, if you remember, I think one of the problems that they had was they had a lot of top order players, and they did. I think I can't remember the player that they roped in the last minute to make some middle order amendments. The South African cricketer, God knows
Yeah,
how did I forget the name, but
Colin Munro. Colin
Colin
Munro.
Munro. Yeah,
Colin
no, no,
Munro.
no.
Yeah,
Colin Ingram, sorry, Colin Ingram.
Colin
I'm sorry,
Ingram. Colin
Colin
Ingram, not
Ingram.
Munro. Yeah,
I think they spent like 6 crore on him, and it was sort of it didn't work well for obvious reasons. I mean, good. He was a good player, but he is past his prime. Uh, he so yeah, that's a mistake that they didn't do this time. They've went for Shimron Hetmeyer. They've gone for Alex Carey. I think obviously it goes without saying that they have a top order that is as world class as they can get in T20 cricket. Uh, if Prithvi Shaw, just look at that hand-eye coordination. That's one of the best hand-eye coordination I've seen after Virendra Sehwag, and that in itself is a great compliment. And so he doesn't move his feet, and he still manages to get it right off the middle of the bat every time. Uh, he's one of the talents to watch out for in the next few years. So obviously, and every time he's come out to play in the IPL, he's looked a dominant force. He takes the game into his hands. He takes the game into his authority. So yeah, let's see what Shikhar Dhawan has to provide. I think Shikhar Dhawan, Ajinkya Rahane, these are the people Uh, these are very sensible cricketers. They are like horses for courses cricketers who are not going to play any blind cricket. They will assess the situations. They are very smart cricketers. And Shreyas Iyer pretty much falls in that category as well. And I think that is one of the reasons I really rate Delhi Capitals very highly. They have those very smart cricketers, especially Ajinkya Rahane. They have this uh, and the names that I just mentioned. So they can just give that freedom to Prithvi Shaw or Rishabh Pant, or if Shimron Hetmyer comes in, they can give that freedom to them to just go for the bang. And they have pretty sensible players at the top. So I think batting, this is absolutely a brilliant batting lineup.
Yeah, and talking about smart cricketers, Prathamesh, you've probably got the smartest and most, most ridiculously talented cricketer there as well in Ravi Ashwin. I saw images of
Yeah.
him bowling left-handed. It's absolutely ridiculous. What the hell is happening? I mean, he's bowling left-handed as well now. I mean, apart from the 10,000 deliveries that he already has, the incredible depth of knowledge in cricket that the man already possesses, he's now bowling
Yeah.
left-handed. He's ambidextrous as well. And is there anything that he can't do? I mean, yeah, moving beyond him, they've got a very good bowling attack as well. If you have a look at it, you got Daniel Sams, who is really good in the BBL. Akshar Patel, who's going to be handy in these conditions. I feel with him, pinging the ball in with his left hand, and also of course the natural variation that he might offer there in those say in those on those pitches. If you look at the fast bowling attack, for me, even though he'll be short on match practice, Kagiso Rabada is always a star attraction whenever he picks up the ball. I still cannot get enough of the highlights of that goal, that final super over that he had against Andre Russell and against
Yeah.
KKR for that matter. He was
Great.
stupendous
Yeah.
there. You got the reliable Ishant Sharma. He'll probably get a few games there as well. Andrik Nokia, again, another fine, extremely fast bowler. If he's able to find his bearing, he could be another player that could really cause some trouble. If you look at their spinners, they've got the likes of Lamit Chane, they've got Amit Mishra, and if I look at Harshal Patel as well, and of course
Akshar
Ravi
Patel.
Ashwin,
Yeah.
Akshar Patel and Ravi Ashwin. So
Brilliant.
they've got brilliant spinners. They've got spinners of all types, leg spinners, off spinners, left armers, and they've got in terms of bowling as well. They've got the guys who bowl their cutters, the guys who just
No ball.
bowl
Yeah.
seam up, who can bowl at 150. People like Rabada and Nokia. Pratmesh, this looks like another extremely well-rounded aspect of the squad as well. Even Kimo Paul can come in, and I've
Yeah.
not even mentioned Marcus Stoinis. I've not even
Yeah.
mentioned him as a bowler. So Kimo Paul and Marcus Stoinis can come and roll their arm over as well. So this is really, really, really good, well-planned team.
It's a fantastically planned team, and I think one of the best setups in the IPL, if not the best. Uh, I'm not just a Mumbaiker who's going to Delhi and trying to blend into Delhi by saying that they are looking the best team in the IPL, but I genuinely think with the names that you mentioned, they do look that. Just to clarify a little bit of misunderstanding that you might have had as a Delhi fan, Ashwin did not actually bowl with his left hand; it was an inverted image.
Oh,
So
all right, all right.
Thank
I
God.
was
I
just
think.
trying
Thank
to
God.
trying to give the guy
yeah.
credit, man. Like,
Thank
okay.
God.
Yeah, so as brilliant as Ashwin is, it was an inverted image. But
Thank God.
even I found it after a lot of concentration on that image. I couldn't believe he's bowling with the left hand. So I spent half an hour on that, and I found out it is an inverted image. But yeah, I think as you mentioned, the squad looks really good bowling wise. I'm really looking forward to see Ashwin and Mishra go together, because those are two different types of spinners. Not just the off break and the leg break, but the style of bowling. One of them likes bowling slightly flatter. Mishra is the one who likes to flight the ball more. One of them deceives him in the flight. One of them likes to trap them on the stump. So it's a fantastic mixture there. And then you add Akshar Patel to that, a left arm spinner. So that is another different variety in spin bowling. Kagiso Rabada is top class. He can bowl in the death. He can bowl in the obviously in the initial overs in the power play as well. Kimo Paul is another someone who is a really good addition in this team, and he's played well even last season. Marcus Stoinis is one of the most intelligent all-rounders there is right now, and we cannot. It's not just his batting or not just his bowling; it's his fielding too. He's a fantastic asset to have even in the fielding unit. So I think bowling wise, they look really, really sharp. They look like they have a lot of options. As you mentioned, you have Ishant Sharma as well with the experience that he will bring in whenever he comes into the team. Batting wise, I don't think I need to add anything. I think they have a fantastic batting unit with Indian as well as foreign players. They have this blend of they can against certain teams they can play really attacking cricket. Against certain teams they can be a little balanced, but they have a batting unit that is slightly more attacking, and they can play that way. So as you said, Prithvi Shaw, I've had the privilege to watch him live in front, like you watch a match in a gymkhana. So he's a fantastic player, someone I'm really looking forward to this IPL. So yeah, I think all in all, fantastic setup. Alex Carey is again someone I feel will be crucial. He's a good finisher, so I think that will be handy for them in certain games where they might have to rotate as well because of the weather conditions. So let's see, but I think otherwise they're a really good team.
Yeah, indeed. And just adding another point, there are some great duos in this IPL now. If you look at Kolkata Knight Riders, there's a fabulous young duo of Tom Banton and Shubman Gill. Now, if you look at Mumbai Indians, there's Chris Lynn and Rohit Sharma. That's destruction at its best. And then Delhi Capitals, one duo that it really, and I think when I just thought about it, I think it really blows my mind. In the last 10 years, if you think of the best off spinner in this country, it is Ravichandran Ashwin. And in the last 10 years, if you think of the best leg spinner in the country, it is Amit Mishra. And you have both of them together. That is going to be absolutely magnificent to watch. I mean, uh, and add Akshar Patel in that. That, uh, oh my God. And add Kagiso Rabada and another fast bowler. This is really, really. And also Mohit Sharma, I think not to forget, he's had some great IPL seasons in the past. He's, I
Yeah.
think, also won a purple cap once.
Yes.
So obviously, oh my goodness, this is a brilliant, brilliant team, and obviously, and again, this is the same thing that I've said about Kings 11 Punjab. I'll say the same thing about Delhi Capitals as well. It has to be something external. Some external force has to really come in to prevent this team from doing well.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And when you talk about interesting duos, I feel even in people like Prithvi Shaw and Rishabh Pant, they've got an interesting
Indeed,
duo there as well. A couple of players who are talked about as probably futures of Indian cricket, but who've had problems for different reasons. Prithvi Shaw and Rishabh Pant. We'll not hop back much onto it, but I think it'll be an important IPL for both of them as well because
obviously, yeah.
Prithvi Shaw would genuinely want to make the Test squad going to Australia, even if he is not the starting opener. And the same is the case with Rishabh Pant. So yeah, just a last question to the both of you. In this lineup, I see a couple of really good players missing out. Even if you do not look at the so once again, Delhi is probably the only team that I see that could actually go in with like 9 or 10 Indian players because their Indian players are that good that they might not need apart from the fast bowlers, which I'm sure Kagiso Rabada will make the cut. I think they might just go in with Kagiso Rabada and Mohammed sorry, not Mohammed.
Sure.
Kagiso Rabada as the lone strike bowler because you can't really you can't. I don't see Ishant Sharma playing that many games. I think he's more of a mentor role in T20 cricket because I think his economy rate isn't that good in T20 cricket, and he gets taken for a lot of runs. And I don't. It's been a long while since I've seen Ishant bowl well at the death as well. So I don't know how much they'll trust him. This could be one of the teams that might not play its full quota of foreign players. So how do you look at it that way? Do you think a team which has extremely good Indian players in the end would end up doing better than the other teams? Yeah.
Yeah, I
Anurag,
think,
we'll start with Anurag. Yeah.
yeah. See, obviously, you look at all the 12 seasons. The key to success has always been the Indian core uh, because of the four foreign player rule. It's more than the majority. It's 7:4.
Four.
Now, come
Yeah.
on, it definitely has to be a factor. You can't. I think a very rare uh, sort of you know exclusions we can make was the Sunrisers, where David Warner sort of he really took his side single-handedly. But even then, there were some Indian players who really did well. There was Bhuvneshwar Kumar who did really well.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, and talking strictly about them, I think it's the India code that really gets me excited. So, yeah, there is also Harshal Patel, another
Yes.
very interesting player. He did well actually in the in the Ranji Trophy. If I remember, there were a couple of times he uh, promoted himself up the order for Haryana, and he smacked like a 20-30 ball half century. So I think he can do that. He can bowl some good slow ones. So yeah, there's you can keep talking about this team, and there's plenty of content coming out and out.
All right. So yeah, as a final question, Pratmesh, where do you see this team finishing in the league phase? I think all of us are in agreement there in
Yeah.
unison. But just for posterity, where do you see them finishing?
Let's just like to add something on the previous one. I really want to see Hetmeyer, Stoinis, and Rabada all playing. I know you have a really solid Indian core, but the team, I think the experience with these guys will add, especially like the Stoinis and Rabada, the class that they have. I think the variety that they have in the cricket, and Hetmeyer, the kind of player that he is, would really be beneficial for DC. And again, not going as a Mumbaiker's moving to Delhi, but I am genuinely backing them to be top of the table. I feel they have the most versatile squad in the IPL, and definitely if this is the year that they should win the if there is any year, this is the one.
Yeah.
So they look the best. This is the best squad I've ever had, without any doubt. So I won't say I'm backing them to win the IPL, but definitely backing them to finish top of the league, at least win 11, 12 matches out of the 14.
Oh, that's a huge statement, man.
Except for the two against Mumbai, obviously.
Yeah, yeah, I knew where it was going now. So yeah, Anurag, what about you? Where do you see them finishing in the league phase?
I would slightly disagree to the fact that this is their best team. I think the team that they had in 2012, where Virender Sehwag was at the peak of his, I
Oh
think that is the
God.
best Delhi team I think that was a scary team. Literally, that team was murdering TP, and in one important game, Murli Vijay blew them apart, and in the qualified
Yeah.
too. And yeah, it's sort of were unlucky. I think they were firm favorites to win that tournament that year. And if you go back, actually, in the first season, second season, third season, they finished in the top two. They finished in the top three. Second season, which the Deccan Chargers won, they finished top of the table, and they lost
Yeah.
to the Chargers in the semi-final. So this is one thing that this is a cycle that needs to be mentioned out here. I think it's now down to mentality. You've got the squad, good thing. It's down to mentality now. Now that is the one thing that they really have to take care of. They have to ensure they go past that semi-final hurdle. I expect them to do that. I expect them to do that. I don't know. It's let's. I can hope they do that because it'll be great to have a new winner. It's really boring to see two
Yeah.
people winning this all the time. It'll be great to see a new winner. For that sake, I think I hope they beat that jinx because they've had squads. There was a phase when they were absolutely horrible. I think they have the highest last place finishes
Yes.
in IPL history. So I think if there is any time to make amends for it, this is the season.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Ponting will be on them. Ponting will be on them all the
Yeah,
time.
I think that'll be talk about winning mentality. Yeah,
Yeah. And Ponting, Ganguly, I think it's a very interesting combination. I also expect them to make the top four, especially in the league phase. I would be disappointed if they were out of the top three in the league phase. Let's put it that way. I'm not so keen on them finishing first as such because I would want them to
push
get
a
a
few
couple of
games. Yeah,
couple yeah get a couple of knocks before they get into the playoffs because
true.
felt
Yeah,
I felt that's what happened last season as well. They were on a roll, get into the qualify, they get into the playoffs and just get bamboozled by Chennai. Like, and Chennai
yeah,
weren't even that great last year. So I
Yeah.
think
yeah.
it is all mentality there. So
Mm.
yeah, that's a suggestion. That's our early prediction, guys, on Delhi Capitals. We all expect them to get through to the playoffs, and let's hope they do well.